Okay, on the Good Morning Portugal radio show and podcast now with me, Carl Munson, we have Paul Ryan, who runs Amigos over there in Alvaiázere near Tomar. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Carl.
How are you today?
Yeah, pretty good.
All right.
Despite the weather.
Yes, good heavens. Muito chuva. I think you're a great guy to speak to because you've been in Portugal for a while. You run a business here, and I understand you've got some cracking offers and delights for us at this festive time of year. So if we start with your experience of being in Portugal, how long have you been here and are you loving it?
Oh, it's been about 4 years, actually, this December. Yeah, I love it. I love the country. I think it's a very relaxed culture. It's about 30 years behind in some ways, which is what I love about it. And obviously that drives you a bit mad as well in some aspects. But all in all, I think it's one of the best countries I've ever lived in.
And you've travelled a bit as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I spent 6 years in Australia at one point.
Yeah. And that says something, doesn't it? Because people love Australia, and for Portugal to cope well with that comparison, I think is a pretty amazing thing. So tell us about Amigos then. As I understand it, restaurant bar, not far from Tomar, in the town of Alvaiázere, or nearby anyway. And there's a little bit of an expat vibe going on, so it was really nice to be able to buy the guilty pleasures of a tin of beans and a packet of ginger nuts, etc., and tea bags. But you've got a different sort of aspirations as well as that, haven't you?
Essentially, yeah. We are primarily an expat bar. We do attract some Portuguese in, but it's mainly expats, really. With the menu, it's seasonal. So usually through the summer, we play around with a lot of tapas dishes because, we can be very experimental with that. And this time of year, we're kind of doing sort of comforts from home. So we kind of do like a theme night at the moment that's a Chinese chippy night, basically.
Brilliant. So tempt us and tickle our taste buds with a bit more about your menu, if you will.
Well, tonight on the menu we have fish and chips with curry sauce and mushy peas, sweet and sour chicken with egg fried rice and prawn crackers. We do a mean cheeseburger, and we've also got korma curry on with papadums and chutneys and things like that.
Oh, fantastic! Okay, and you're doing a Christmas dinner as well, I understand, aren't you?
Well, we've actually finished that, but
tomorrow
tomorrow we're actually is our last day. We're doing the Christmas market. So we've got a Christmas street food menu kind of lined up. So it's kind of like turkey, cranberry stuffing, and gravy sandwiches, and pigs in blanket, hot dog kind of things. Stuff like that, really.
Oh, amazing.
So we're going to close tomorrow and reopen in January.
Okay. Oh, it's all about timing, isn't it? And so next year, that's what you can look forward to in the run-up to Christmas at Amigos. And obviously an amazing menu. And I think you didn't mention there, and this is a sort of slightly controversial thing, isn't it? The vegan menu that you do from time to time, because some people will be listening to that, and it stirs up the usual sort of controversy within some of the communities that we belong to. But you've been giving it a good go with the vegan menus as well, haven't you?
We have, actually, yeah. And we've the vegan customers that have come in for the lunches we do on Thursdays have really appreciated it and actually been very sort of loyal to the weekly thing of that. We generally do a woman called Wendy does a yoga class 2 hours before the vegan lunch, so that kind of nicely coincides with the theme.
Fantastic. That's Cosmic Day at Amigos then. Which day of the week is that?
Thursdays.
And is that Wendy Freeman who does your yoga?
It is, yes.
Legend.
Yeah. She's actually restarting the yoga classes in January. I think this is the 22nd, and we do the vegan lunch an hour after that's finished.
Fantastic. So you can get an appetite going with the yoga, and then move into the bar for a vegan lunch with a crafty pint of. What have you got? British beers? Have you got a mixture of Portuguese and British beers?
We've got Guinness. British beers, no. We just basically do the two Portuguese ones of Sagres and Superboc, and obviously like Bohemia, which is that's made by Sagres as well. But they're the sort of craft beers of Portugal, which are very good.
Fantastic. I was only joking, of course, with mixing yoga, a vegan lunch, and a pint of Guinness. But then again, that to me is a balanced life personified there.
It actually helps with the flexibility. A few vodkas.
Of course. The other thing I forgot to mention was that you're on the Camino route as well, aren't you? That's an important part of what you do there.
Well, yeah, that's right, and that's usually applies with us sort of towards the end of April to about October. That's when we get a lot of the pilgrims coming through. We are actually off the trail, so some people have to actually choose to take the route to us because it does take them off the trail, but it actually reconnects them back onto the path. But yeah, it's a really nice time of year because we get all walks of life coming through and all very interesting characters. And yeah, it's great sort of talking to them and learning about the Camino stories because I can relate to that after I walked the Camino myself 2 years ago and it was an amazing experience. So it's great to meet fellow pilgrims.
Oh, fantastic. We probably need to speak to you again about that at some stage then. That's wonderful. So it sounds like all of life is there at Amigos. Am I right in thinking as well you're looking for staff for the new year? Because that's a really big issue in Portugal, isn't it? People come in here. You've got to really be able to look after yourself and jobs are quite hard to find sometimes. Have you got some vacancies there?
We have actually. We do have one major vacancy coming up in January. We've had a friend of mine called Ben, who's been an expert mixologist from London. He's come to help us over the last few months, and he's done some great things for the place. And but unfortunately, he's been good for him. He's actually been headhunted by a hotel in London, and they've offered him a great job. So he's going back in 2 weeks. So yeah, we're going to need someone to fill his shoes.
So like a top bar person?
Yeah, essentially a host / bar person, really. Yeah.
Cool. And a living job?
Yes, that is available if that is needed. Yes.
Amazing. That's quite an opportunity, isn't it, to come to Portugal and have a living job like that and see if you like the place. And then, of course, get headhunted for a swanky London hotel afterwards, which might be the pattern that you're creating there.
Yeah, well, he's obviously done it all himself. He's a very talented barman, so... Yeah, but it's a great opportunity. It is if you want to get involved with a project and you've got ideas and things. And it's just one of those things that the more you put in, the more you get out of, basically. Yeah,
of course. Okay, and that's like life coming to Portugal, isn't it? The more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. That's my last question to you, really. To people listening, this podcast is all about people coming here, exploring the place. Would you recommend it? And what would a little bit of advice be?
Yeah, I do think it's a good expat community that is growing, and obviously integrating with the Portuguese is tough if you're not fluent in the language. But essentially, it is one of those countries. It's everything's here to be enjoyed and to really make the most of. And it is a place that the more you put into it, the more you get out of, essentially. And there's a lot to get out of it.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Paul Ryan from Amigos, Alvaiázere, near Tamar. Thank you very much indeed. Have a very happy Christmas, Paul.
You too, Carl. Thanks very much.
See you in the new year. Bye for now.
Okay. Happy New Year. Bye.